Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video, and in this video we're going to be talking about diagonal box fighting as a concept in Fortnite competitive and what it means, common mistakes that people make with it, and how to actually execute it properly so that you can succeed in box fighting scenarios in the game. Guys, before today's video starts, if you want to support the creator on your screen right now so I can continue to post free valuable content on YouTube, then check out the first links in the description. The first one offers one-on-one private coaching with myself, where you can get better at Fortnite at a rapid rate and learn what your mistakes are from a professional. And the second link offers a esports grade mouse from oneclickmouse.com. This is my very own gaming brand that I've actually created myself, and if you want a high quality mouse but at an affordable price, you could buy the Aspire Pro to use to compete, to practice, to play tournaments, and I really think that this is something that you guys will like. So check out oneclickmouse.com. And now back to the video. I'm just going to be covering the details, so let me just explain what diagonal box fighting really means, right? So if I could just hop in here, potentially get a gun. I don't even have a, we'll use the spaz for old time's sake, right? So we'll use these type of guns, and we're going to be covering what it really means to diagonal box fight and why it's actually beneficial to do so. And so you'll see scenarios all the time where pro players try to hop into a diagonal box fighting scenario, right? Where they purposely set themselves up like this, right? And this is very beneficial for a multitude of reasons. And sometimes you'll see players do this sort of technique, right? Which is put themselves directly against the wall. And so sometimes this is acceptable if you have a huge HP advantage. If you have a huge HP advantage, literally anything goes. You could mess up 6 different things and probably still win. And so that's why it's important to understand this is good sometimes if you want to get in quickly. Like, let's say this guy's in the box and he's quite literally 1 HP and I'm full HP. I could just do this and see if it works, and if it doesn't work, I'll try something new. But it's good to put pressure on them, and in order to put pressure fast, it's important to have that speed, right? At that point, you're not really caring too much about what are they going to do. Like, anything goes, you'll probably win. But that's why you see sometimes people making this sort of play. So what should you do in a situation where the enemy is not hurt? If they don't have any sort of HP missing whatsoever, they're 200 HP and you're 200 HP. Well, it's pretty simple. In my personal opinion, I think you should diagonal box fight. You should set yourself up in a scenario like this, perhaps edit something like this, and then start working on the right wall. Why do we work on the right wall? Well, because you have right hand peek. So if you think about it, if I have my gun and I sort of think about what's happening here, if he edits on me, I have right hand peek on this edge, and that's really favorable. Obviously, what players will do is they'll go all the way in this corner and try to right hand peek their own edited wall. What you can do in that case is you can stand in this corner and they actually can't see you, and so that's really beneficial, is to have that favorable exchange. However, there's also the fact that as they're perhaps running over to the corner, you can it's kind of telegraphed. You can sort of tell what they're about to do. They're about to do this, right? And you can sort of tell that it's coming. However, you should quite literally in this situation never get hit if you play it correctly. So how should you play it correctly? What you should do in this case is, if they edit, as soon as the edit comes, you just shoot and reset. And the main reason this is beneficial, and this is sort of why the diagonal box fighting concept is so advantageous to you, is because you have extra pieces. So notice something. If I'm standing here, I don't have a reset, right? Not only am I at risk of getting full boxed, like so, but I'm also at risk of getting edited on a right hand peek and shot, and I can't do anything about it. Maybe I can hit him, but then I will guaranteed get hit by them as well, right? Flipping the cone is an option, but again, it just comes to the point where if after you flip your cone's weak, and then they can just take it and place their own, and so that's not good. And so if you have a situation where they're equal HP, be in a situation where you're behind this line. So let me just draw an imaginary line. You can actually, it doesn't even have to be imaginary, you can just see it right here. Do your best to not only be behind the line, but be somewhat away from it. Because notice something. Let's say I'm really close to it, right? And I'm smacking like this. The problem is it's really hard to reset, right? It becomes very difficult to reset this wall. Even if I'm like this, look how far up I actually have to look. Like, I'm behind the line, right? I can totally reset and be safe, but is it really that easy? Like, think about it. If I'm crosshairing here because I'm box fighting the enemy, right, I have to look up so far to catch the wall. Obviously, you can blueprint at it, but chances are I might select this wall. Maybe it's theirs or whatnot, but regardless, it's just making life harder for you. So general tip, stand a little bit further back. I can still hit the wall from here, and I can still claim it from here, right? In this specific case, I actually can't claim it, but if you stand a little bit further back, like right here, that's when you can claim it. So if you look at this section right here, you see this line right now? Right? You see this line right here, and then this line. You want to be over here if possible, right? Obviously, you can weave back and forth, but you essentially want to be smacking from here. And then if you want to take the wall, you kind of have to be in this section of the cone right now. And then you can edit, right hand peek because of your positioning, and then they will most likely try to edit out because they own all the walls. If they go out this way, well, this is really nice for you because you have an easy shot, and chances are you will get the shot for free because their back is to you. If they edit out this way, that's good too. Perfect. And if they edit out the back, there's not much counterplay that you have other than like going all the way around, or you can just pay attention to what they do, because if they're trying to edit out the back like that, chances are it's going to be really hard for them to reset and hold like this. So what you should do in this situation is, of course, just challenge them. Like notice something once. First of all, you can actually see everything that's going on in the box without actually exposing yourself. So that's the beneficial thing about setting a box to the diagonal here, is that you can, after you claim the wall, you can literally look in the box and be like, okay, what is he up to? Is he going to the left? Okay, well, I just full box him. Cool. Is he going to the right? Well, I have a perfect shot. He has to expose himself to me as he crosses to the right because I have an angle from my position. Is he going out to the back? The back is actually the best choice for the enemy, but in this specific case, you want to pressure. If you notice the enemy turns around to edit out the back, well, now you're in no danger because they're not looking at you. So you can calmly, you don't even have to worry about right hand peeks or whatnot. Just literally just swing and just try to spray through. Chances are you'll get 1 or 2 bullets of damage no matter what, right? It's super unlikely that they just edit out super quickly. If they flip the cone, which is another response, let's say they don't edit any of these walls and they just flip the cone, maybe they try to edit up. And so the important thing to understand about box fighting in general is every time an edited piece occurs, so like if a piece is edited, the HP actually cuts to 40% approximately, right? You see this? Look at the HP of the cone. It's at the bottom right there. 19, 11, and I'll let it build up some and you'll see the example. And so when you see it go up to about 100, it goes back to the 35. So that's the point. I really think it's super important to understand when pieces are edited. That's why you don't do this thing, right? When you're sort of up against the wall like this, it's not ideal because of the fact that, like, let's say they have this wall, right? And your response is, hey, I'm just gonna flip my cone. Not an ideal situation. You can do this if you know, maybe you're in game 1 and you're an exceptional fighter, you know you're just gonna roll everyone. That's cool. That's why you'll see sometimes pro players doing this, is because they just know they'll roll everyone in their lobby because it's game 1. Obviously they're better than most people in game 1. Don't use that as an example. What you want to learn from is from people meeting their match. Look how pro players fight in game 2, 3, 4 if they have to fight, and I find that you'll be in situations where they have diagonal situations. Then you'll find that they have more complex angles other than just the head-on angle, right? Like this one, because it's just, you need them. You absolutely need them to succeed in box fighting. And this is the whole idea of diagonal box fighting, right? Set yourself up in a position where you can swing safely without worry. And so the reason why you have no worry here is because you have this wall. This is the key. You have this wall to protect yourself, right? And then you claimed it, you edited it, and now you're going to work on theirs, which is, you know, the enemy wall right here. You're going to work on theirs. If they edit on you, again, like I said, you can either shoot reset, right? You can either shoot reset like that, or, you know, maybe you have your pickaxe out and they edit on you, just reset. And the reason why you can always react fast enough is because when you make an edit, and this is just reiterating the point, some of you guys may have heard this point on my channel multiple times. Look how long it takes for me to actually pull out my gun after an edit. This is called gun swap delay. So it's important to understand why it's so easy to defend yourself when you're diagonal box fighting, right? So when I have a wall like this, I make any edit, look how long it takes for me to pull out my gun. So I can't shoot instantaneously. So in that situation, right, let's say I'm in a box, I'm playing defense now, and I'm trying to aggress someone that's diagonal box fighting me, right? And they have a wall right here, and they have their own box like this, right? They're just standing on top of that cone, and so they're trying to aggress me, right, like this, right? So they're trying to aggress me, and they're pickaxing this wall. Okay, I want to edit on him because I don't like the fact that he's trying to take my wall. Okay, I do it, and then because of the fact that I have to pull out my gun, he can just reset instantaneously. And so that's the key. Resetting a wall can be done immediately. Shooting a gun after editing has a delay, and so that's the time window where you want to make that reset. And this is the reason why diagonal box fighting is the strongest way to actually safely push a box. And you know, you can do it from a different angle, by the way. You can do it from up here. You absolutely can, right? You can do it like from up here, and you can you know, maybe you think he's going to edit. Let's say the enemy edits like this. Well, in this specific case, you just stare at the wall with your shotgun, right? And you just stare at them, and as soon as the edit comes through, shoot reset. And even if you miss, you shouldn't get hit because of the fact that you reset the wall before their gun's even ready, right? And let's say you're pickaxing, right? Maybe you're just swinging at the wall and you notice the edit coming through. Maybe you notice their body language. They're just standing here with the wall, and then they start running to this corner. that's a telltale sign that they're about to edit, right? Them running to that corner. So be ready, right? Because you have to reset. And it's obviously much easier on keyboard and mouse because you have scroll wheel reset. However, controller players can definitely do it too. And I've seen them do it multiple times, being able to reset fast enough before the enemy can shoot. So that's the key. Be able to do this in box fighting and practice this against your friends. And I promise you, you'll be a much safer box fighter. And so I must make a quick disclaimer, right? This is an optimal scenario for 200 versus 200 scenarios. When you're trying to push a box against someone where you have no advantage, but you just want to fight them, maybe you have a slight advantage. Maybe you hit them for 50 with a beam earlier and they're trying to heal with the big pot or a slurpfish and you want to push them. Cool. Do diagonal box fighting because that's the safest way to actually aggress. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys supporting my channel and all the videos that I put out thus far. And I really hope you guys learned something new. Try to apply this in game. I really think it's something that you will absolutely benefit from. And I'll see you guys in the next video.